Hello, welcome to Bob's Dungeon. My name is Bob, I'll be your host. And as I've said in some previous videos, options for games are good things. Gives you more that you can do. Sometimes there can be too many options, and that really can bog things down and really get in the way. But generally, options are a really good thing. And there are always options for games coming out, whether they be printed by the companies putting the games out or third-party games, which work pretty well. In this video, we're going to talk about a third-party group that has put options out for the old school gaming, or even the original games from 30 years ago. We're going to talk about the Fire Realms. This book has 84 pages and a copyright of 2014. It was published by Harbinger Games, and all of the artwork in this book is in black and white. It's pretty decent. So let's go ahead and look at that artwork. This is the first picture we see when we open the book, which is just a copy of the book's cover. All of the artwork in this book is in black and white. And it's pretty decent artwork as well. The artwork gives the book overall an old world flair. To use this book, what you're going to need is, of course, a copy of this book and a copy of the core rules of the game you're playing, such as First Edition Dungeons & Dragons, or it can be from Second Edition, and or Osric, or some other OSR game that uses First Edition rules, and can be modified for other OSR games. You'll also need a full set of dice. Full set of dice containing a 20-sided die, a 12-sided die, preferably two 10-sided dice for rolling both percentiles and tens, an 8-sided die, a 6-sided die, and a 4-sided die. This book is just a bunch of options for your First Edition Dungeons & Dragons game or other OSR. And it gives you some optional rules for some of the classes, such as fighters, rangers, clerics, magic users, thieves, and assassins. And, like all options, you can pick and choose if you want to use them in your game. It also has some new classes for your OSR games. And they have them listed as subclasses in here. And they are, for the fighter, they have barbarian and nobleman. And for thief, they have the bard and the scout, which is really weird because the bard class does appear in the back of the original player's handbook. So I don't know if that's an alternate thief or alternate bard or what, but it's there. You also have some new NPC classes that you can put in your game, such as the hedge wizard, the men-at-arms, the religious brother, and the scoundrel. They give you all the rules for them and the experience tables they need to advance levels like regular characters. So if you wanted, you could put them as regular player characters if you want, but they are in here as NPC classes. You also have some hirelings listed that you can get in this book and the rules for them, such as alchemists, healers, and merchants. And there's not as much information in here on them as there are the other NPC classes, but they do talk about them in here. And then you have cantrips in here, which are minor spells to use for your magic users and so forth. And then you also have orisons, which are kind of like cantrips, but used for your clerics and your druids and your religious brothers. And after that, you have two different appendixes. First appendix lists a bunch of brand new spells for your game, and the second appendix talks about followers and how to use them. So that's pretty cool. And that's pretty much it in the book. When I bought it, I thought it was a whole campaign setting, but I was wrong. It's just optional rules that you can add to your campaign. to spice it up, particularly first edition Dungeons & Dragons or Osric or some other OSR that uses the earlier versions of the Dungeons & Dragons rules. Which brings me to 3 questions. Would I play a character using the rules in this book? And I'm going to have to say yeah. If I was playing the first edition, having some brand new options to my gameplay would be a nice thing. Kind of freshen up the old. Would I run a game using the options in this book? Again, I'm going to have to say yes. If I had a group that was wanting to play first edition Dungeons & Dragons, or even second, or one of the other OSRs, and wanted to use stuff from this book, then yeah, I'd be all in to use it. Would I recommend this book? And yeah, the options in it aren't that bad. Some of them are actually pretty cool. And if you're going to run an old school game using the old rules, it would be kind of a treat to bring in some stuff that they haven't used before. Kind of liven things up, make it feel a little new. So that's pretty much all I got to say about the Far Realms right now. Thank you for joining me at a look at this book, and hopefully you'll join me next time where we'll talk about something else. Bye.